The Destiny of Swords. Episode 3, The Road to the Primordial Order. Sometimes the first step towards a new destiny is taken with a broken heart. The moon still lit up the forest, and the silence of the night was interrupted only by the rustling of the leaves. The purple butterfly flies slowly forward. Hina followed him without saying a word. He was still holding the sheet that Valor received tightly to his chest. His eyes were red from crying. Every time he closed his eyelids, he remembered his family's smiles. He remembered his father's voice. He remembered his last words. "Live." His tears ran again. "I will live," she whispered. "But I will never forget." The butterfly continues to fly. After about an hour of walking, the forest was getting weirder and weirder. The trees were much taller. Their branches covered almost all the moonlight. The wind stopped completely. No birds, no insects, just quiet. Suddenly, the butterfly changed his direction, stopped flying straight. He began to avoid a certain area. Hina immediately notices. Why is he going around that place? He looked up. In front of her was a clearing. It was completely empty. Nothing seemed unusual. It looks like a clearing. Yet, the butterfly refused to enter. He followed him on the edge, drawing a wide circle. Hina stopped. Is there anything there? Curiosity pushed her to take a step toward the clearing. The moment his foot touched the grass, the ground beneath it gives way. Oh my God! He caught the root of a tree at the last moment. Underneath it, there was a gap hidden under the leaves and moss. Hina swallows in sec. If I took another step, I was falling. He was very careful to pull back. He looked at the butterfly. He stopped and seemed to be waiting for her. You saved me." He smiled weakly. "Thank you." The road continues. A few minutes later, a cold rain began. The earth became slippery. Hina fell several times. He scratches his palms with stones. His kimono got completely dirty. But don't give up. You have to get. Shortly after, a river blocks his way. The wooden bridge was broken. The water flowed strongly. The butterfly crosses without problems. But Hina remained in place. How do I pass? Look around. Notice some fallen trunks. He's trying to push one. It was too hard. Take a deep breath. Pushed again, once again, and again. After a few minutes, the trunk fell over the river. He wasn't stable, but it could be used. Hina began to cross slowly. Halfway through, the trunk is slipping. The girl almost fell into the water. However, he managed to regain his balance and reach the other bank. He was breathing hard. I was carried away by the water. The butterfly seemed to dance happily in the air. It was beginning to light up. The first rays of the sun appeared on the horizon. Hina looked up. In the distance, among the huge trees, you can see the roof of a building. It was built in an old Japanese style. Hundreds of purple flowers bloomed around it. The butterfly began to fly faster. Hina feels for the first time there may be a safe place. But at that moment, in an unknown land, darkness, there is no sky, there is no sun, there is no moon, just an endless void. From that void rose huge columns of black stone. In their midst, a huge room. There, the shadows began to appear one by one. They couldn't see their faces. They couldn't see their clothes. Just black silhouettes. Some were very tall. Others had horns. Others wore wings. Others had long tails. But none could be identified. In the center of the room, on a huge throne, there was a shadow much bigger than all the others. Her presence made the whole realm tremble. No one dared to speak. Then, the shadow on the throne slowly opened his eyes. Two red lights appeared in the dark. "I called you." The voice resounds throughout the realm. Seriously, cold, authoritarian. Because one of your ranks, it remained empty. Immediately, the shadows began to whisper. "Who? How? It is impossible. Which one of us?" The king's voice resounded again. "Silence. In an instant, all the whispers disappeared. The one who fell. It is the descent of the Shadow Six. A heavy silence engulfed the room. Mimi, slowly speak one of the shadows. Another clenched his fist. Another laughed slowly. The king continues. She fulfilled her role to the end. But the shadow cannot remain incomplete. Raise your hand. The whole world began to deform. Out of the darkness, a new figure appeared. I couldn't see his face. I couldn't see his clothes. Just the contour of the body. The shadow kneels before the throne. The king spoke. From this moment on, you will bear the title of Descendant of Shadow Six. The new shadow tilts the head. It's an honor. Another demon asked, and who will control the passages between the worlds? The king answered calmly. He's also doing it. He will guard this land. It will open and close the doors between the world of men and the world of shadows. No one will enter or leave without their will. The shadow of the new descendant slowly raises its head. I will carry out the order. The king turned his eyes to all the shadows. But that's not the only news. They were all silent again. The archivals began to move. They found our tracks, the war your ancestors started. He's getting closer again. There is a heavy tension throughout the room. Some of the shadows were smiling. Others crossed their arms. But no one dared to interrupt the king. He slowly raised his hand. From now on, I want you to be more careful. Don't underestimate the Arcotes. And find the girl who survived. There was silence in the realm again. The new descendant of Shadow Six slowly clenched his fist. I understand. The king of demons closed his eyes. The meeting is over. In an instant, all the shadows disappeared into the darkness. Back to the world of people. Hina slowly climbed the last steps towards the hidden house in the mountains. The purple butterfly sits on the wooden gate. The girl looked up. Take a deep breath. He had the impression that once he passed through that gate, her life will never be the same again. End of episode 3.